you're doing well today. Welcome to another episode of Progress Mindset Podcast. Today, we are going to be diving into the conversation of procrastination and fear and how the two of those go hand in hand together. I want to think about procrastinating, of course, fear is something that does follow up with it, right? It's like, what makes us so afraid to just simply make that move? So we're gonna get into that. How you doing today, Frank?
I am well. How about yourself?
I'm doing great.
Wonderful.
As you procrastinated today?
No, not really.
Did you do a self-evaluation of yourself and the things that you said you were gonna do?
Pretty much.
Okay.
I've learned to kind of navigate through that, Takes a lot of work though. It's not an easy thing because that's something that we all do. We all procrastinate. I guess
Okay.
to a certain degree.
So when you think of procrastination, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
First thing that comes to mind is just basically affecting your thinking process to make to make a clear decision. Like, because to me that's what it does. Like, if I were to procrastinate about something, is basically interruption within my mind that does not allow me to make a clear decision, and it just kind of make it difficult for you to just be like, okay, this, whatever this is that they're telling me makes sense, let me just do it. So what about you?
When I think of procrastination, I just think of, doubt. It's something that inhibits you to thinking that you should make the first move. Because we all know if when we really want to do something and we're confident in it, we go forth, right? But when you procrastinate, there's a little bit of fear, there's a little bit of doubt, there's a little bit of lack of confidence, and that paralyzes you. So then you keep pushing it off and off, and it rolls over. And I think that's what the root of procrastination really is.
Yeah, fear play a major part in procrastinating. Most definitely, I think so.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
let's first talk about why fear, is one of the driving factors of procrastination. To me, I think fear is one of the most driving parts of procrastination, is because we all don't want to fail. We want to always put our best foot forward, and we want to make sure whatever we're doing, that we do it right. And sometimes we get in our own head and we think about outside factors, like what people would think, how it would look if we had to start over, or again, we just wouldn't do as well as we thought. But in most instances, you have to let the fear drive you, because then if you are inhibited by your fear and you procrastinate, then that's when regret comes in, right? Because now, instead of operating from what I should have done, you think about what you could have done,
Mm-hmm.
And with procrastination, you're just losing out on time you can never get back. Because if you really think about it, all we have is this moment. What if 5 years ago, the idea that you had, that you still had, that you hadn't executed, you would have executed it? What would your life be today if you would have just went for it? But instead, you're still sitting on that idea, and you're still thinking about what if, and you're still stuck in that situation when that one idea could have been the answer to everything that you've been praying for.
Uh-huh.
So that's why procrastination, you shouldn't let it get to your head. If you want to do it, just do it. Just don't even think about the what ifs and what if I don't, what if I fail. Just do it. I was listening to, I don't know if you've heard him. His name is Tony Gaskin, and he was saying that one of the the most dumbest people, quoting his words, are the richest, and the smartest are the poorest. Now he said that because when you're smart, you overthink, right? You overanalyze everything, and you don't even go for it. But people who are just like, man, it'll work out, that's fine, and they just have, not necessarily dumb, but they have that easygoing way of thinking. They don't overanalyze, and everything just works out perfect.
Yeah, another word that is a A student most likely gonna end up working for a B and a C student.
Right.
The C student or the B student will find something that makes sense and see the vision, but they might not be able to make that that vision, that goal, that dream come to reality. But they know that A student is capable of getting the job done, so they would hire them, and they'll be the one that's making the decision, be like, okay, let's look into this type of project or this opportunity, this product. And the product would make sense to them, even though they don't know how to do it, but they know that it's possible. So they're just gonna go out there and look for somebody that's smart enough to work that project and bring it into reality. So
and good that you mentioned that, the analogy of a smart student, because how many times can you think back in school, that one kid that never showed up to class, always late, finishes the test first. Meanwhile, you're pulling an all-nighter, you're studying all week, and you're the last one to hand in your test.
Yeah.
We can all attest that has happened. And that's because, again, they just go with the flow.
Right.
When you overanalyze, sometimes you just miss opportunities.
Definitely, because that's basically what a procrastinator is. Someone that overthinks everything. Like the concept can make a complete sense to them, and they still be like, oh, I just need to look into it more, I need to do more research. While you're doing all that, the next person is benefiting off of whatever they presented to you. So a lot of time, same people, people that breathe the same air, that live in the same neighborhood, that grew up around the same place, turns out to with better outcomes in life. And then sometimes people wonder, why this person, have more than me. Why is this person, more fortunate? Or, why they have more? Why they live in this house? We used to live on the same block, and we went to the same school. We played together. So how come you was able to have so much success? Sometimes that's the question I hear a lot of people ask. Or maybe that person got lucky, but sometimes it have nothing to do with luck. It's possible that you both ran across the similar opportunities, but it's just that person sit down and looked at it. It probably didn't even make complete sense to them, but they see opportunity, they see a possibility, the concept makes sense, so they jump on it. And you, as the other person, now that's questioning that individual that's having success, asking all these questions, didn't realize that you had the same opportunity, but you procrastinate the whole thing. You think about it for too long, and that opportunity done came and left. Because opportunity, we will always have opportunities, but the things age, things age, and it doesn't last forever. And sometimes is always good to get in the forefront of things. It's good to take advantage of certain opportunities, from the beginning, or from from the early stage, because you don't want to wait till everybody's doing it for you to do it. Then you will benefit less, or you would have to invest more to see a handsome profit. But when you start anything early, when you take a chance, you have a better chance of coming out either a winner or a loser. So sometimes in life, that's what life is all about anyway. Life is all about taking a chance. Life is all about evaluating things and just see if it makes sense. And once it makes sense, there's no point of you trying to overthink it. It's whether you make a decision here and there or you don't. If you don't, at least at least you can say that, okay, I looked into something, it's not for me. That's fine. But some people, it's not the fact that it's not for them, it's for them, but they take so long to make a decision, to the point where this opportunity just come and left you. So this remind me of, I don't know if you remember the book, The Richest Man in Babylon.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same concept, because like people was pointing the finger at the the, the the richest man in Babylon, one of the individuals that was very wealthy, and he was considered as the richest man in that town, um, or in that city, wherever. So his people that he knew, like that he grew up with, calling him and asking questions, like, let's go ask such and such a couple questions. And then, when they ran into him, they say, how come, just like as I just explained, how come we went to the same school, we did the same thing, you are not more superior than us, you was not smarter than us, how come you was able to have so much? They were saying that it's not fair, and whatever wealth you have, you should be sharing it. So, you know what I mean? That's kind of like, you would have to really, really, people that have not read that book yet, you definitely should look it up, because that teaches you those lessons of people like taking advantage of opportunities, and evaluating things, and not being a procrastinator, and then just like, you know taking advantage of what's good.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the other people wasn't doing that, but he did that. He sees, but he had to learn his lessons in life anyway. He didn't just wake up and then just became that rich person. He had to work, and he had to learn, similar to all of us. Like in life, you go through different patterns, and then you learn along the way. So the thing is, as you go through these process, as you go through these life lessons, you have to learn from them, because you can wake up every day and go through the same thing, and live the same live the same life over and over again, and continue to do the same thing, and you continuing to get the same results, but you're not learning from your pattern. Like, you just keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result, which is the definition of insanity. But because you can't do the exact same thing you did today and expect to have more money next year. It most likely, if you made $30,000 last year from what you was doing this year, if you do the exact same thing, that's you probably gonna get the same exact amount of money. But if you diversify your income a little bit, do things a little bit different, maybe do a little side job here, or you get another job here, or you invest, or do different things, strategize. Don't just work the same job and complain every day, and come home and be upset with your wife or with your significant other, yell at your kids and thinking that is gonna make a difference. It's not. You have to change the way you think. You have to shift your mind. But didn't mean to get of course a little bit.
No, I mean, it all ties in together.
Yeah, but
your
And
your results in life is what you procrastinated or didn't do or did do.
absolutely. But but when it comes to procrastinating, it's very very important, and it's very deep. Fear and procrastinating play a very big part in your success. It play a very big part in in a lot of things that you do. And some of the most common reason that I think people procrastinate is for, like we said, fear of failure, um, fear of criticism, um, low self-esteem, depression, and I would say also anxiety. Yeah, all those things and more plays a part. I mean, it's not good to procrastinate, because by doing so, I'm sure if you had mentioned that earlier, you will miss out of opportunities and growth. Because trust me, by being a procrastinator, you can like cheat yourself of a huge opportunities, because like you don't know like where whatever it is that was presented to you, or whatever project, or it could be a movie or a commercial or anything, a book. Somebody tell you read a book, read an article. You never know, just by saying that, oh, I don't have time, maybe I'll do it later, or just overthinking it, can lead to you missing out on some good information that can probably change things for you.
Hmm.
Most people procrastinate because they are afraid, afraid to step out of their comfort zone, because I, we all comfortable, within a certain space. Like, we feel complete, and sometimes very hard, like, to navigate. It's very hard to come out of your box, because we all have a place where we feel complex, where we feel like, okay, this is it. I don't want to get out of here. If I move left, I might feel uncomfortable. So I'm gonna stay where I feel good. Where I feel that I'm being treated fairly, where I feel like I can get away with certain things, where I can navigate better. So I don't want to be uncomfortable, and that goes for a lot of things. It goes for jobs. It goes for it could be um it could be a school, it could be anything. Okay, like you're a college student, maybe if you go to a different school, where it will um where it will challenge you more to do better, to have a better opportunity, maybe when you graduate, because it's a better college, rather than to go to a community college. Like, by you going to that one, maybe you have a better opportunity, but you might be like, this is out of my comfort zone. My people's not there, maybe. It's not as diverse, right? So you probably like, I'd rather go somewhere else where I'll feel comfortable.
Hmm.
But by you stepping out of your comfort zone, going there, you never know, like, you might rub shoulders with different people, different groups of people. So just something to think about. But as far as like you being in your comfort zone, like, we all do it. Like, we all like to stay at a job because of what the job offers, of what we can get away with, maybe the vacations that we have. So sometimes we are scared to start over. So we would rather stay where we stay at what's currently working for us, than rather than to try to move on. So we all have a fear that we might fail at things. So when you have a fear that you might fail, so that definitely limits you, you know. Um, so procrastinating is just basically, it's a part of thinking.
Hmm.
When it comes to thinking, you have to manage your brain. Don't let it manage you. So know when to make a decision. Don't, like you're saying, don't sleep on things. Don't keep saying that I have time. Don't keep saying that, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. You know, it also took me back to the richest man in Babylon. Like it was trying to compare um being lucky and opportunities and all these things. There was this gentleman, I forgot his exact profession, but he had certain goods that he wanted to buy from I think it was sheeps that he wanted to buy. But when he came across the opportunity, they were selling them for a good price. The merchant was selling it for a very, very fair price. So he asked the merchants to do the trade the next day, right? Because it was dark, and then his most trusted um keeper at the time, the person that basically goes through the process of his deals and see whether there's a good deal or not, wasn't able to see that night because it was kind of dark. So he was like, can you wait till the morning, so my shepherd can see it, can see that whether we're getting a good deal or not. The guy was like, no, 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 I want to sell it right now because my wife is sick and I need the money. I gotta head back home. I would even leave one of my trusted, at the time they was calling people, slaves, but I didn't want to use that term.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was like, I will leave my most trusted person with you guys so he can, be, I can assure you that it's a great deal and everything is in good shape. They're healthy. Then he was like, no, 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 let's just wait till the next morning. So the other individual said, okay, we'll wait till the next morning. And the next morning, there was a crisis within the town. Like people was looking for those sheep. They was looking for that type of deal. So the gate was open. So a whole bunch of merchants approaches that same guy and give him probably I forgot the amount, but way more than what he was gonna sell it to that other merchant for. So he ended up missing out on the deal because he procrastinated. So he could have so if he had paid that price, he would have definitely make a bargain by paying that particular price and then taking it back to his town. It just crossed my mind just by going through this right here. Procrastinating is so many examples that I can use, but that's just one that crossed my mind because I remember reading that book. It was last year, but I can still remember that part, that chapter, as if I just read it, So, but as the fear was discussing fear, there's also good fear. A good fear, I would say, that's one of the fears I have. Is a fear of missing out.
FOMO.
I'm telling you, it's good. It's a good thing to have a fear of missing out, because if you have a fear of missing out, whenever somebody present an opportunity to you, whenever somebody tell you of anything that sounds like it have potential, you will look at it whether you think it's for you or not. You be like, okay, somebody send you something, be like, all right, I'll look at the video, let me see, what it's about. So that's the type of fear I have. I have a fear of missing out. I don't want to never feel like that I'm missing out on a good thing. So whenever somebody would tell me about something, I would always try my best to take a look to see if it's for me. Not everything is for me. So if it's not for me, I'll be like, okay, I looked at it and the concept didn't make sense to me, or it's not something that I want to do. Because I'm not an everything junkie, but it's good to look at information, because at the end of the day, documentation beat conversation. Like if you're gonna look into anything, like when you read the documentation, you read you look at the video, whatever it is, you can tell from there if it makes sense to you, and if the concept makes sense, most likely you will take advantage. So don't be a procrastinator, and don't let fear scares you from taking advantage of great things, because the fear is, the definition of fear is force evidence appear real. So it's something that's not realistic, that just in your mind, that just appear to be real. It's really not a realistic things. It's your mind. It's basically your mind playing tricks on you.
Mhm.
So whenever you run into anything that feel your heart, you just gotta find a way to move away from that channel. Because
Mhm.
your mind, your brain have different channels. You're just gonna have to learn to to distract yourself. Like a little bit of distraction is good sometimes, because if you're about to do something positive and all of a sudden fear becomes a factor, you have to find a way to shift your mind. And as soon as you shift your mind, you will go back to good feelings again. You will most likely go back to whatever good, whatever positivity that you was about to get into. So don't let fear rob you of your dream. Don't let fear rob you of a great opportunities. So always be aware of that. Right, Afia?
Yeah, I think that is well said.
I'm sorry for hugging the for hugging the mic for so
No,
long.
it's in your bag. I was listening. I was taking notes. He was speaking to me.
Nah, speaking to myself because none of us are perfect. Like, cause you can always get better. So like that's something that I've been working on for a long time. Like to learn to not procrastinate, and to learn to be um, less to have less fears. Like, because that's something we all fight with. To learn to learn that it's okay to fail.
Mhm.
Like, don't be afraid to fail, because through failure is success. Because you have some most times you have to fail to win, and it's bittersweet after you fail and then you win, because something in life, most time it's better to fail in life and then win, because at least if things goes wrong, you will know what to do to go back to winning.
Mhm.
So if you used to winning all your life, it's gonna be really really hard when you fail. So before you climb the mountain, it's better to know. It's better to fall down a couple of times. Then if you reach halfway, or you're about to reach the mountaintop, and then you slip and you fall, and you might not. Some people be like, "Oh no, I'm not doing this. Look how far I reached. What if I get up there and then this happened again?" But if you was falling from the beginning, at least the next time to take a different route, to do things a little bit different. So failure is not a bad thing. Failure is not a bad thing. Most of us fail more than we win. So, look at Michael Jordan. Yeah, he's superior. Michael Jordan is great. Considered as the GOAT, as one of the greatest basketball player ever. But that man fell a lot. He wasn't always as good as he was. He practiced a lot. He missed more shots than he made. So, but through the failure, through the hard work and preparation,
Mhm.
he was able to become one of the great ones. Right?
And it's okay to change your mind.
Yeah.
Because look at him. Remember when he was playing golf?
Yeah, he's playing baseball, but
He was
he
playing golf. He tried everything. So,
he played baseball because I think after his dad passed, it was a lot going on, but he eventually went back to his passion. But
but the thing is, he tried.
yeah, but when you
Never
passionate,
looked back and said that he didn't. He pushed
mhm,
through. So he can never look back and say that he didn't. He pushed through and
right,
he went for it. Because I'm pretty sure that he probably feared that people would have said, "Oh, look at him! What did he do? That's dumb."
right,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah, exactly.
but the point
And
is we really only have this moment, and every time you procrastinate, you are pushing back your destiny because you never know.
never know. And recently I was listening to this incredible lady named Mel Robbins. I don't know if you ever heard of her. She's powerful, man. Like, um to help anxiety, to help with um, procrastination, or you procrastinating about things. To help with that, she she have a 5 second rule that she called.
Mm-hmm.
She thinks herself, she considered as corny, but this is a strategy that's been saving lives, and it's been helping a whole lot of people. So basically, when um when you try to make a decision or about something, or you're trying to do something, sometimes is nothing but, your mind is so much going on up there, right? Like, and you can't get out of your mind, like you stuck in one channel. So she's saying, in order to get out of that channel, to change pattern, what you do is count backwards from 5 to 1.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say you're going through a tough time and you're about to take a test, and you're like, oh man, then your mind start racing, you anxiety start kicking, you like, oh man, I can't pass that test, I'm not good enough. Just stop and say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. When you do that, you automatically shift to a different channel. You are no longer thinking negative. You are no longer thinking about, okay, I can't do this, I can't do that, because you're so focused on because when you have to count backwards, you have to focus, right? Because you might mess up. So counting forward, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is simple. That's, your mind is used to that already. But when you shift your mind, when you change it and try to and count backwards, say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, it helps shift the part of your brain to interrupt the patterns. So I tried it too, because I was thinking about, while I was on the road, I was listening to her and I was thinking about something, and then I was like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just by doing that alone, it it interrupted me. It was a distraction, right? A good distraction. So it distracted me from whatever I was thinking. It took me back to the original thought process, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So that think that's a good strategy. I would recommend that people look into her stuff. Her name is Mel Robbins. She's been everywhere. She have she have a big rep for doing so many different incredible things. So I would say that you practice this 5 second rule. So whenever you're going through something, if your mind is just out of if you out of your mind, just thinking, in a negative way, just stop and then just count backwards. Whatever you're comfortable with. You can go from 10 to 5, but Hershey suggests you go from 5 to 1. And once you do that, you can count slowly, and then that will help you. Shift your mind. It will help to interrupt the pattern. And, yep. So that was one of the strategy that I feel that I can help people with procrastinating. Let's say you you've been presented with something interesting, a good opportunity, and then assume you start thinking about the opportunity. You just start thinking about, oh, I can't do this. This doesn't make no sense. What about if I fail? What about if I lose all my money? Yada yada yada. All those bad things start coming to you. All those bad things start coming to your mind. Just stop and go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go back to thinking about the opportunity. Go back to thinking about whatever it is that was presented to you, and then see what happened. Like, it helps you stay. It helps you stay focused.
Wow.
Yep. So that's one of the strategies I would suggest people. Just try it. It will really, really help, because it helped me, and I'm trying it. I'm gonna use it for a week. For a week straight. If I'm in traffic, somebody jump in front of me, and I start thinking crazy, I'll be like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. and you can continue to say it, until you calm down and go back to the connected self. So
Oh, that's great information.
yeah, and because above all this information, all this stuff we talk about, because I know in life they always say, "Oh, positive thinking, positive thinking is the key." You got to keep, but positive thinking alone, it doesn't fully solve all your issues. So you have to find other ways. You have to find different things to distract your mind, because I'm a believer in that, of thinking positive. Yeah, but you could think as positive as you want. Sometimes it doesn't take you out of that zone. It doesn't always shift things, and then it's kind of a waiting game. Sometimes when you're just thinking positive, because if you thinking positive, but you can't. Sometimes you can't find, like, when you upset and you stuck in that mindset, and you can't change channels.
Mm-hmm.
Positive thinking can't get you out of that. You gotta find distractions. A distraction like that, I feel like, can shift your mind, can shift you, can because you have different channels within your brain. Like, you can the same way you can turn a channel is the same way within your brain. You can switch from one channel to another. So when you're in upset, if you're in an upset zone, you can find a way to move over to somewhere else within your brain that's thinking positive. And by distracting your brain, by interrupting it, by using a different pattern, I guess it can get you out of that negative mindset.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep. Um, because it's very hard to change your pattern. It must be interrupted. You gotta change that channel. You gotta change the channel. Change your thought by distracting it.
Love it.
Yeah. Yeah, so I felt like, that could be helpful to people, because, like I said, I tried it, and I was like, this is interesting.
Well, I'm definitely gonna try it because I I do procrastinate, like procrastinate out of fear, not out of laziness. Just I'm afraid to fail, to jump the gun, to do something, stupid.
Right.
Um, Definitely gonna use those best practices and incorporate them. Like you say, try for a week, but it only takes about what they said 21 days to break a habit.
Right.
21 days consistently to break a habit. And next thing you know, it becomes second nature.
Yeah. You can be surprised the little things you can implement to your life that can just, make a totally different, huge difference within your life. Next thing you know, you feel like a complete different person. But where did this guy came from? And it's funny, personally learned that, something, that's worth sharing. I learned that being excited is the exact same thing as being afraid, because your body doesn't know the difference. Because if you really pay attention to the body effect, um between when you are excited and when you are afraid, it's quite similar. Because some people, like, when some people, when they are happy or when they are sad, they sweat, right?
Mm-hmm.
They sweat and their face turn red, their cheek turn red. Like, they have all these different all these different emotions. But when you really think about it, being afraid and being excited, you have similar, you have it's similar. It's not a huge difference. The difference between excitement is what your brain's, and it's the difference between excitement and fear is basically what your brain say. So your brain is the one that's making all the decisions. But so it's not a huge difference between those things. Like, if you really really sit down and think about it. So whenever you have a habit, whatever you have a habit of doing, is what your brain is most likely accustomed to. because the brain like to do easy and simple tasks. Difficult and new things make the mind, very uncomfortable. I feel like that sometimes, because when I have to try something new, when it's a new task, when it's a new environment, I feel very uncomfortable. But like as I force myself, to face it, and then try to do it again and again, it becomes easier. So then I learned that it's all mental, because I test myself within that as well not too long ago, and it had to do with facility inspections. Like the first day that I would walk to a big place, like I just get nervous, and I was like, oh my god. First thing that comes to mind, oh my god, I'm never gonna get this. That's the fear in you. But you can either run, you can quit, or you can face it. Because believe it or not, we all think like that. We all go through it. It could be a different way, but we all go through like fears. We all go through like just wanting to quit sometime, quit at doing things just because we feel like it's too big for us. Like we not strong enough, or we not smart enough. We all have those moments, but the thing is, it's all about facing it and coming into a decision, be like, okay, whatever, I'm just gonna try it anyway. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. That's been my attitude. Like when I approach something that's bigger than me at the moment, I was like, oh well, I'm just gonna try it. If I don't make it, it's okay. Then I'll try it again. And if eventually, if they feel like that I'm not good enough, or I'm not trying hard enough to make this work, then I'll get replaced. If it's at work, or they put you in a project, and they feel like you smart enough to feel like you willing to make that work, they already see it in you. But sometimes what people can see in you can't see it in yourself. So they want to give you a chance, because they're not just giving you a chance because they were like, oh yeah, let's just try him out. Most of the time, like if you have been given a difficult task, it's because like your supervisor, or whoever, see the potential. They know you can do it, but they're just gonna be like, okay, let's just put him in there. Let's see how it works out. Because most of the time, they see the strength. They could see that hot burning desire through your eyes, and they know you can do it. But you yourself still have doubts. You have fears. But like I said, it's all about like facing those things, facing your fears, and then just going for it. Like, I fell, and if I win, I win. Because in life, in life you have to take chances. Life is all about taking chance. If you play safe, guess what you're gonna get? You're gonna get the reward for what you throw your hat in there for. So, whatever you bet. So, but if you live in life to the fullest, and you going for big goals, and then you aiming high, you're not just aiming halfway, tick, tick, taking your bow and arrow, tick, tick, halfway, the middle. I don't want to go too high because I'm not good enough. No, take your bow and arrow and just shoot straight up. Go up high. If it doesn't hit this time, it's okay. Just keep exactly. So, like I said, your brain is designed to protect you. So when you try to feed your brain unfamiliar information, or complete hard tasks, it goes into protected mode. And that's, like I was saying before I finish my point, that's all of us. We all goes through that, but it's all about like what you're willing to do. Are you willing to shift your mind a little bit? Are you willing to move, like switch that channel, like I told you? Like, it's not, you don't only have one channel. It's not just you have one big brain, but there's different parts. So use all the parts. When one channel is overwhelmed and is full of negativity, click, move into the next channel. And then just and see what's in this channel. See what's in channel France. Maybe it's better. See what's in channel of Fear. Oh, Fear's mad right now. Okay. Let's see. Go to channel Johnny. So just play with it, man. It's your brain, and don't let it run you. You your own person. Don't let people run you, and don't be your own boss. Be the boss of yourself.
That's it.
Yep.
Well, I'm gonna end with a quote from Neville Goddard, something for us to think about. Our results in our life is a direct result of everything we put in. Right?
Nice. All right.
You don't
Beautiful.
Life, think about what you're putting into it. So our life is a direct result of what we put in.
Yes, I agree.
And I'm gonna leave you to sit with that.
Take a seat with that.
Yeah, take a seat with that because Professor Franz was in.
Oh, you know me. The procrastinating and fear is something that I'm
definitely in service tonight.
And you hear that from me all the time. So
yeah.
This is not in you for a fear.
Nothing new. Class was in service, guys. Class is definitely in service.
Yes.
Okay. Well, on that note, we have come to a close.
Oh yeah.
Another good gem drop, I would say. So take some time if you gotta rewind and listen to it. I know I am. I heard a few things in there. Gotta take some notes. We gotta make sure that we're living our best life each and every day. And as always, if you have anything that you want to add to this conversation, feel free to drop by our Instagram, leave us a message. You could drop by on the podcast, leave us a message, like, comment, subscribe to our YouTube and our Instagram, Progress Mindset Podcast. And as usual, we will see you on the other side.
All right, guys. Peace out.